Is the financial sector dam about to burst? Stocks took a hit today, which has become a rarity in this melt-up, and SPY still has that negative divergence on its 14-period RSI, suggesting momentum is slowing. Under the hood, the dollar picked up steam, yields popped, oil looks like it may be forming a weekly bull pennant, financials cracked a bit, Bitcoin kept nosediving, and metals started picking up speed to the downside. Let's sort through what Grok Trade is seeing across the charts. And quick reminder before we get into it, this is market commentary and technical analysis, not a signal to buy, sell, short, chase, or step into any trade. Grok Trade is sharing chart-based perspective, market observations, and trader education, so use your own plan, define your risk, and speak with a qualified financial advisor for guidance specific to your situation.
Yeah, it is definitely a heavy board to look at. And for today, Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026, the charts are, well, they're leaning pretty cautious. I mean, that red day across the board really shifts the tone from the relentless risk-on rally we have been tracking.
Right, it really does. And regarding that negative divergence on the SPY, it doesn't guarantee an immediate reversal, but it is a massive warning sign. Think of a runner charging up a steep hill.
Oh, yeah.
They are still moving forward, but you can visibly see them losing their breath near the crest. The momentum is just fading.
That is a great analogy. The fading momentum makes perfect sense, too, when you look at the macro catalyst hitting the tape today. The ISM Services PMI came in at a highly resilient 54.5 for May.
Wait, a 54.5 in services? But that means the broader economy is running hot. Why is Wall Street treating good economic news on Main Street like, a systemic threat?
Well, it all comes down to the cost of money. A booming services sector means inflation is likely staying sticky.
Right, and if it stays sticky, the Federal Reserve is forced to keep interest rates elevated.
Exactly. That dynamic is exactly why the U.S. 10-year yield, the U.S. 10Y, popped today. Its recent bull pullback looks like it may be getting legs. And as yields rise, they just drag the U.S. dollar, DXY, right up with them.
Yeah, the dollar definitely picked up steam today.
It did, breaking out of a bull flag-like pattern. That signals its weekly uptrend might be taking control again.
Drop a comment and tell Grok Trade what stock or market question you want covered in a future episode. Your comments help us shape these updates around the setups you actually want us to look at, not just the ones already on our radar. And if these daily recaps help you stay sharper in the markets, hit the like button and subscribe so you can catch the next summary.
We constantly monitor those comments for fresh setups. But returning to those rising yields, this is really where we see the mechanical breakdown in the charts. High borrowing costs put immense pressure on banks.
Oh, absolutely.
That is why the financial sector ETF, XLF, pierced and closed below that critical $50.80 level today.
And the regional banks are feeling that squeeze even harder, right? The SPDR S&P Regional Banking ETF, KRE, it actually closed below the support trend line we mentioned yesterday. I know it is technically still inside its larger symmetrical triangle, but closing below that inner support is just a glaring sign of weakness.
It really is.
Yeah.
And you have to add the high-yield corporate bonds into that picture. Tracked by HYG, they are tightening up significantly on the charts. We are seeing real tension building in the credit markets as the cost of capital stays high.
So we have the dollar, yields, banks, and credit all flashing warning signs. And throw in, like crude oil futures, CL, forming a weekly bull pennant, which threatens even more inflation. I mean, when all these risk-sensitive assets move at the exact same time, you cannot just sit back. You have to stay alert and trade what actually develops.
Right. And we are seeing what develops in the non-yielding assets, too. Because yields and the dollar are popping, holding assets that do not pay you interest suddenly becomes, well, much less attractive.
Which explains crypto. Bitcoin is nosediving right now.
Yeah, it is breaking down and looking like it's heading straight toward that $60,000 level.
Wow. And the metals are fleeing as well. Silver futures, SI, broke the wrong side of support and are picking up downside speed.
Now they are?
Gold futures, GC, weakened today, and even copper is cooling off alongside the rest of the metals.
It is a massive shift. Before we wrap up, I mean, if Bitcoin and gold, which are historically on total opposite ends of the risk spectrum,
right,
if they are both fleeing from the surging dollar today, it raises a fascinating question. If this financial dam does break, where is the safe haven hiding tomorrow?
Man, that is the multi-million-dollar question to think about tonight. Have a great rest of the day. We'll catch you tomorrow as we continue tracking whether this stock pullback growth legs, whether the dollar and yields keep pushing, how oil resolves, whether financials keep cracking, and whether Bitcoin and metals stabilize.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you're a newer trader and want a great foundation with no fluff, Start with their free Trading 101 videos at groktrade.com/learn. And if you're ready to reach your full trading potential, whether you're a total beginner or a battle-hardened trader, check out our mentorship program at groktrade.com/trading mentor. All of these links are in the description below. Grok Trade is where traders reach their full potential.